Alright, you're welcome back to the tutorial. We will continue from where we stopped in part 1 of this. This is a full Revit course where we're designing a 3-bedroom bungalow using the contemporary style of architecture. This was we stopped in the first video. We modeled this from scratch up to this moment where we added doors. So in this tutorial we'll be continuing from here, and we'll be adding this window. I'll be adding windows, and we'll be continuing the work in detail. This is Revidential. Please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos. You can equally drop a comment below, and then you can equally share to your friends who you also want them, if you also want them to improve in their skills for Autodesk Revit. So let's just jump straight into the tutorial. The next thing we'll be doing is to create windows. So to do that, we're going to go to the DPC level, and then we are going to be creating windows in this level. This is the damp-proof cost level, so this is just where we'll add windows. So I'm going to start from this particular side of the building, the left hand side, and I'll go all around till I come back here again. So to create windows, I'll hit WN in my keyboard, which is a shortcut for Windows. I already have some basic windows set up here in my templates that I'm using. Of course, since I'm using I want to massively consider contemporary architectural styles, so I'm going to just use a window that just suits contemporary architectural style. So this window does suit a little bit, but we'll still be doing some setups on this window. I did a video on how you can edit windows and what you can do, so many things you can do to windows and doors in my channel, so you can equally check that out for you to better understand windows and doors. So this is the window I just loaded in now for my templates. The name is 600 long plain window. If I go to the edit type, you can see the width of the window is 600, the height is 21. Not necessarily what I want, so this is just what I did. So I'm going to be loading in one I created that I normally use for my contemporary architectural styles. So I'll just click on this window, and then I'll click the drop down icon here, and then you'll see updated. That's the one I normally use for my contemporary architectural style. I'm going to click on this. What I normally do when I want to set up my windows is I go to an elevation. So for this, I'm going to go to the south, because that's the elevation where the window I just imputed can be seen. So I'll click on it. The seal height of this window here is 10, which is not what I want. I just want this to be at a healthy 500 mm, not up to 900, which is the standard though. But I want to have my windows and my doors in the same to have the same so I just want to have them in the same lintel, so just one lintel runs all through them. So I'm going to hit the AL2, which is the align 2. I'll click on the top of this and confirm yes it is. Then the seal height from the DPC level is 500, which is what I imputed earlier on, if you guys remember. Okay, so this is the window I'm going to be using. If I go to the 3D, you can see the window I just loaded in. It's just it's a casement window though, but it's just one swing. That's the trending windows at the moment. So this width of this window is 750, I think. Let's confirm. So DI for dimension, yeah, 750 is the width of the window. So I'll just go with that. So what I do is I'm going to hit the window I created, and I'm going to hit CS on my keyboard, which is create similar. No, so I'm going to CS, or I can just copy as well. So I want another one here. And when you're placing this type of windows, you try as much as possible to make sure that the window is not placed this way. If it's placed this way, it means the window is going to swing inside. I don't know if you can see the two differences. If the window is placed this way, it can to swing inside. I don't want it to swing inside. I want it to be faced this way. So you can equally decide to turn the panes. Depends on what you want. So I'm going to delete this, yes, and I want to give it a little bit of a gap. I might still change the window type here, but for this place I'm certain of what I want to use, so this goes here. So by default, when you're placing windows, Revit is going to show you some dimensions. I don't know if you can see some of them. Revit is going to show you some dimensions from the wall to where you're placing your window. I placed this first one here at 600 mm from the wall, so I'll just place this one at the same 600 mm because I kind of like consistency and that, but still subject to change. So CS again on my keyboard. I just want one window for the dining. Trying to place it centrally. Yeah, as you can see, the dimensions will equally help you to place your windows centrally. So for my kitchen, of course, one window will do the job. So central, yes. Okay. So for my bedroom, I want a window here and another one somewhere here. I might be needing to move this a little bit backward, and I'll hit WA on my keyboard. Shortcut for wall. 600 mm is okay. So this is like my wardrobe. Alright, so continuing this, hit the CS again. These are toilets, so they won't have that window. The same thing I have here, the same WA again to get in my wardrobe. Wait, sorry, let me confirm this. Let's just say 1500. That's a very generous, very generous what's it called, a very generous wardrobe. Let me confirm the dimension. Okay, 1.5 meters. Alright, so let's continue with the windows. CS again for the master bedroom. Let's see, 1.1 from here. Another LD 1.1 from here. It's not actually a must to actually place windows like this. It's actually a must. I might want to move this in a little bit. Then alright, CS again and make the window centralized. Yeah, this is the one for this lobby, very important. Okay, so one thing you'll notice is that at the end of the day, some of the windows might not actually be in the same level. This is what I mean. The seal height of this is 500, is 510, so they're not the same. So what I do is I hit one, I right click, then I select my instances visible in view, so I select all of them, then I come back to this seal height and then make them all 500 mm, so they've all dropped down to 500 mm. So this is what we've created so far. We just added windows to this. So we'll go back to the DPC level and then we'll add the window for our toilet. So I'm going to be editing this one, so this is what I will do. Let me go to the north elevation, which is the back, so that you all will try and see what I'm doing. So to appreciate this better, you can put the detail level to coarse, fine if possible, from coarse to medium or fine. Then I'm going to on my shadows so you appreciate it more. So I'm going to go to the DPC level, I'll hit this, then I'll see as, then I'm going to hit this and I'll swing it out. Okay, so if we go to our elevation, you can see the window we just placed in now. So this is a different type of window. I'm going to edit this window to get the new window for the toilet that I want. So I'm going to hit the edit type, then of course always duplicate so you will not lose the original you already have. So I'm going to call this toilet window. I'm going to enter, then I will now go and set up my dimensions right here. So the width of my toilet window that I want is 600 mm. The height is equally 600 mm, so it's just like a square, 600 mm by 600 mm. Is there anything else? No. So I can now apply. Now click OK. So you just see this window kind of change to 600 mm. So yeah, so this is the window. If you go to the note, you will probably see it. So this is the window for the toilets. So I'm now going to be hitting the AL tab to determine the height, the seal height. So I'm going to highlight the top of this window, and then I'm going to hit the top of the toilet window. So you're going to see it this way. So when you go to your plan, you're going to see the toilet window here, elevation still same, then 3D you have the window. So I'll just hit this window, and then I'm going to copy it, CO to copy, then I might just copy this to this, since the size of the toilets are almost the same. So alright, so this toilet window, as you can see. So I'll go to the DPC. The C height is 1.5, which is okay. So CS for creating similar. Please always remember to save your projects. This message always pops out. You can equally decide to set the time interval, so you might make it 1 hour, 2 hours, depending on how long you think your project is going to be. But always remember to save your project. You can never really tell. So well, don't worry. I'm going to go to this, and then I'm going to hit this to place this window and still make sure it is still at 1500. Alright, so CS again for the visitors toilets, though I'm beginning to think this is a massive generous visitors toilet, but let's just leave it like that. Alright, so I have this already set out. You have my windows are placed properly, my doors are also placed properly. So we'll go to the DPC level, and then we start creating our steps. I'm not sure about this window here yet, so I'm going to delete this. I kind of want to do something in this wall later on that will help improve the facade of the building, make it more statistically pleasing. So I might just leave it as how it is for now. So what I want to do next is to project create my beams. So you have a whole lot of cuts, so I want to straighten up some parts with beams. So to do that, I'm going to go to the ceiling level. Of course, you go to the property browser, check your underlay, your base level, and then hit the DPC, so you can be able to see the outline of the building, though it's going to be faint, but at least you can see where you are drawing on. Then this is what I do to create my beams. There are actually two ways you can create this. Some people will hit this wall and edit the wall, that's edit profile, and then draw a beam. Let me show you this way. Some people will edit this way and then draw a beam here to join this. No, I don't do that. Like I said when I started the tutorial, I always like modeling how it is going to be constructed inside. So you don't edit a wall inside, and then you try and make a beam from it. So you actually cast the beam, so which is what we're going to be doing now. So I'm going to go to the DPC level, the ceiling level, and then I'll hit WA my keyboard, which is wall. Then I'm going to do a whole lot of stuff now. So this is what I'll do. Under height, so one thing about Revit is when you are in a level and you are drawing with height, it means the wall is going to run from that level you are in up. But if you are drawing in Revit and you check under this height, you drop down this drop down icon, you click on the drop down icon, then you check depth, and you draw with depth, it means that the wall, if you're drawing a wall in a level, the wall is not going to be running up from that level. It is from instead from that level that you are drawing on, it is going to be running down. So that's what I want to use. You always see this message, don't worry about it. Then I'm going to click on this base offset, which is minus 300. I want my beam thickness to be 600, so I'm going to hit minus 600 and I'll enter. Then I'll just come to the edge of this wall, make sure I'm in an end point, then I will draw my wall to another end point, then I finish that. So Revit already knows what you want to create, so it is just going to automatically join the walls for you. So when I go to the DPC level, you're not going to see that wall here in the DPC level because of where sorry, you're not going to see the beam here because of where the floor plan is being cut out. So subsequently we will now use graphics to show that there is actually a beam here. But if we go to our 3D, you can actually see the beam here. So that is, we did not edit this wall, so this wall stands on its own, this other wall stands on its own, and you just have a concrete beam joining the two of them together. It straightens up our floor plan in that particular place. So that's also the same thing I might want to do here too, for the veranda for the back, but let's just do for the front here. Alright, let's create a beam for the first for the entrance porch. I think I'm changing my mind on some certain things. Oof, it's 2-1, that's very small actually. This might cost, well, let's just leave it at that though. Alright, so for the beam for the front entrance, that's the entrance porch, I might want to, I'm going to create the staircase, that's the entrance steps to, not actually the staircase but the entrance steps to the building before I create my beam. But I know my beam is going to lie between this wall and this wall, not between this wall and this wall, so my beam is actually going to run between these guys. So what I want to do is I want to create my entrance porch first. So I went to the 3D, and so that I can be able to select this floor easily. Then I'm going to edit type. You can actually edit draw in your 3D. I know really good Revit users that draw in 3D very well, and the more you actually draw in your 3D, the more you become very good and the more you improve in your drawing. Because when you draw with 3 dimension, you have to obey some rules on alignment. It's going to help you to align better and so many other things. So we're going to be editing this wall, this floor. I want it to come out a little bit. Okay, I want the floor to run this way and then this way. Yeah, okay. So I will just delete this, then I'll delete this, then I will use trim, then I will trim this to this. So this is like the entrance porch right here. So I'll click finish. No. Then if I go to my 3D, you can see what I just did. So I'll still go to my DPC level, and then no, I don't want this to be here. Okay, so this is what I want. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to go to architecture, then I'm going to click on the stair. I'm going to set this to run from the NGL to the DPC, which is 3 rises. That's what it's giving me. I'm going to use the monolithic stair to have 6 rises. Okay, so from here I'm going to draw my stairs. As you can see, you're going to see them right here. You can also draw steps by sketch. You can draw winder, you can draw steps with winders, you can draw spiral staircase, you can draw a whole lot of staircase in Revit, but we'll be doing that subsequently as we move on in the channel. So I want the width of my steps to be 1.5. Then I'll just align this. Okay, 1.5 here, don't know if that suits what I want. Yeah, I think it's gonna work. Okay, might just be generous and use 2 meters, but yeah. Okay, then I'm going to click finish to finish this step. If you go to the 3D, you see our step like this. Don't worry, we just didn't do something. So I selected the step, go to the DPC, and then use this to flip the staircase. Of course, some walls will move. Sorry. Select the staircase again. I think it all started happening when I joined. Sorry, when I aligned. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to edit this step. I might move this. Yes, I want to. Then of course, yep. Then I'll flip this. So when you go to the 3D, you can actually see what we just did now. I'm on 1 raise actually. So I'm going to use the move tool. I'm going to click on this. I'll move it down to this place so you can see this. Okay, so I'm going to go to architecture again. I'm going to hit on stair. I can just do this and edit this, but the steps sometimes will ask you, will tell you that they are not joining if you try creating them all together. So of course, from the NGL, which is the natural ground, to the DPC. Okay, I'm going to finish this. Now go to this and I'll edit type again. I want to use pick lines. I don't want this step for this part to project outward, so that's why I'm just doing this way. Okay, so trim. Okay, I'll still do this step. I like this step and then move it to this place. This 1000. Oh, it's okay for a start. It's actually okay for a start. Oh, okay. I'm actually thinking of something, but it's okay. Now click finish. If I go to the DPC level, to the 3D, you're going to see what we've ended up modeling so far. The handrails are the wall. I might not want that. I might decide to leave this. I might even decide to remove the entire handrails subsequently in the video. So this is what I want to do. I'll go to the NGL. That's the natural ground level. I'm going to draw a wall, WA for wall, and then I'm going to change the depth. Remember, this wall is still in depth, so let me just draw the beam. So depth of 600 to this grid, then back to this place, so you kind of have our beam already set up. Sorry, I drew this in the DPC level instead of the ceiling level, so I'll just select this and then change the base constraints to ceiling. Cancel. So let me just delete them. I drew it in the DPC instead of the ceiling. So WA again, make sure I still check that depth and that your base offset is 600. So we'll just draw this to this grid, then back here. So if we go to our 3D, you're going to see our building looking this way. Okay, so back to the NGO. we are going to hit wall again, then change the depth to height. This time around we want to go up, and then I would just want this to stop at the DPC level. Then I'm going to create a wall this way. Okay, so I want to just move this to this place. Still type CS to create similar. Then from this I want to get somewhere like this. Okay, so let me draw this here and then move this down. Okay, CS again. Okay, now I want to actually move this wall here. Then of course trim this to this. Then I want this in a little bit. So if you go to the 3D view, you can actually see what I'm trying to do here. So I think this is high. I think they are high. So I'll just select them, and then I'm going to put this as at unconnected for the top constraint. Then for the height, I'm going to leave this at 450. Okay, so this is better. I'll still hit the wall, make sure I'm in my natural ground level, and hit CS again. Then I'll use the move to or MV. Move this backward a little bit. CS again. WA. This is what I will do. I'm going to hide this in view by elements so that I can see what I'm doing. So WA for key for wall. I'm going to join this to this. So if you go to the 3D view, is actually what I have. So this is like where I'm looking at flower bed. So a flower bed, you can grow flowers here. So if I want to do that, I might want to delete the handrails, but for now let me just leave them. But I don't like the glass one, so I'll just select them and then I'll change this to pipe. Okay, so I'll still go back to my DPC level. I can go back to my NGR now and DPC level. Okay, so this is what we have so far for the front porch. Still subject to change. So for the back, I still have the same thing. So I'll go to ceiling, on the architecture, click on wall, change the height to depth, and make this -600 for our beam for the back. Alright, so I'm going to draw from this grid to this grid all the way back to this grid. So if I go to the 3D view, you can see what we have done. So I'm going to go to the DPC, or I can go to the NGL, anyone I like, or let's say DPC. Then I need to select my floor again. Sorry, that's not the floor, that's the floor. So I'm going to AD boundary, go to my DPC, and then I need this to come out all the way to this port. I think grid B, all the way to grid B. Okay, so I'm going to click finish. I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to go to stair, and then I want to do the same thing I did for the front porch. all the way to DPC. Then I'm going to draw. By default this 1 meter, and I want to increase that a little bit to 1.5. and I will enter. Okay, let me move this, so I will centralize it a little bit. Do I necessarily need to do that? I can just leave this here actually and just move this down, or worry about the position in subsequent videos. So back to the 3D, you can see this there, still that same stuff. We just hit this flip to, and then it flips to where we want it to. And I'm going to hit this wall. It's actually my NGO, and I'm going to draw the wall out a little bit, and then click on CS and make sure that this is changed back to height and not depth. So CS to create similar. Then I'm going to be drawing from here to the position of my grid. And I'll use trim to trim the two walls altogether. Okay, so this is what I just basically did now. Alright, you can also edit handrails. Let's say I do not want this stair here. Let me change the handrail first to pipe. Okay, so I'm going to move this from here to somewhere here. So this, I might just want to move it all the way to the extreme end. Okay, so I can also edit, you can also edit handrails in Revit. So you just click on the handrail you want to edit, like this. I want this to run to this part of the building. I want it to be able to cover this and this part too. So some people will go and create another handrail on top of this. At the end of the day, it doesn't join too well. So this is what I do. I'll go to the DPC, then I'll edit part, and I'll just click on this. I can just bring up another line and then draw the line all the way to this wall. So you're going to see this arrow running all the way down there. So it shows you that that's the part for the handrail. Automatically, when you come to your 3D, this is what I just did. This is the normal handrail, the handrail for the step. This is where it stopped, but I added this, so it means the arrow for the direction increases. You can also toggle this direction if you want, but this is what I want. So if I click finish, Revit already knows what I want to do, so Revit does that. So this is that. So we can equally do the same thing for this particular handrail. We want it to cover up to this part too, so we'll go to the DPC level and we edit type. So this is the handrail. Want it to run to this part again, so I'll just bring up a line and then run this to this wall. You basically see it. Even in the 3D you see that. So once you finish, it's going to automatically run, and then you just have this to deal with. Alright, so we'll be stopping here in this tutorial. For the part 2, please do hit the subscribe button to subscribe to our channel, so you equally get notified when we release new videos. When you hit that bell, you can also like our videos. Please do like our videos, equally share to your friends if you want them to also join you to improve their own skills in Autodesk Revit. So we've been able to create handrails, stairs, windows for this part of the tutorial. So in the next part of the tutorial, we'll be continuing with determining the type of roof we want to use. Then we'll be modeling and be looking at the building being aesthetically pleasing in terms of us modeling the facade and all that. Hope the video have been helpful, and hope you've been learning a whole lot using this video series. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.